Good evening, I'm Pia Hontiveros. This is News.PH, but it's not politics as usual. Janet Lim Napoles, the most famous name in the country at this very moment. We tried to invite her to a one-on-one interview tonight, but we were turned down, or more correctly, we were ignored. As we speak, NBI agents are out to arrest her on illegal detention charges at this very moment. But we also did invite a so-called whistleblower. Her name is Gertrudes Luy, and her lawyer, attorney Levito Baligod. We also invited, and he'll be joining us in the second half of the show, retired Marine Colonel Ariel Quirubin, not because he's gotten into trouble again lately for plotting coups, but because his first late wife had been allegedly victimized by Mrs. Napoles. Colonel Quirubin has a story to tell. So does the Colonel's friend, whose wife had also invested with Mrs. Napoles. He will also join us by telephone a little later on in the show. But he specifically asks not to be named just yet. So good evening, Attorney Baligod and Gertrudes. Tama ba ang pronunciation?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. So tell us first, how should I call it? Gertrudes na lang. Paano po kayo related kay Janet Lim Napoles?
Yung husband ko at saka mother ni ni Janet Napoles is first cousin.
First cousins. Your husband is Arturo
F.
Francisco Luy. And Janet's mother is?
Magdalena Luy Lim.
Magdalena Luy Lim. Okay. So that means tito, yung asawa nyo ay tito
ni Janet Napoles.
Ni Janet. Okay. So, kasi ang tinanong ko rin yun dahil ang isang sinabi ni Mrs. Napoles ay ang kanyang kayamanan ay galing sa inheritance daw, no? Dun sa pamilya ng nanay niya sa Basilan. Dahil yung mga Luy ang tiga Basilan, tama? Or pati yung mga Lim? Ang Luy. Okay.
Ang Francisco.
Francisco.
Oo,
ang Francisco, yung Luy, hindi tiga Basilan.
Hindi taga Basilan.
Okay. So, paano yon? Saan galing yung kayamanan, yung sinasabi niyang lupa?
Kasi yung mother-in-law ko, dyan talaga sila, taga Basilan talaga sila.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos, yung father-in-law ko nakapag-asawa ng yung mother-in-law ko na dyan nakatira, talaga, yung base talaga sila dyan sa Basilan,
okay.
Sa Maluso, Basilan.
So, sino ang may lupa? Ang Francisco o ang Luy family?
Ang Francisco.
Francisco. Walang lupain sa Basilan ang mga Luy?
Mayroon, pero parang mga 1,000 square meter lang.
You mean there are several of them?
Hindi, no. 1,000 square meter lang.
1,000 square meters?
Parang house, parang lang.
Parang house and lot? Okay. Kasi ang sinasabi ni Janet, dun nga galing yung kanyang kayamanan sa inheritance niya.
Hindi.
Hindi. Okay. What about, alam mo ba yung coal business na sinasabi niya?
Narinig ko lang yan yung 2000, ano ba sinabi niya? 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Pero parang nakita ko lang sa box na may sample na nilagay sila na sa gilid lang ng sa condo na sa Pacific Plaza.
Sample ng ano?
Sample ng coal.
Ng coal?
Oo.
Hindi kaya, di ba ang coal ginagamit yung pampabango ng kwarto? Hindi?
Hindi.
So, yun lang yung nakita mo, wala ka nang alam na iba na dahilan?
Wala. Wala akong nakita.
Okay. So, ano yung trabaho mo para sa kanila?
Ang trabaho ko, naging yaya or parang lahat na. Doon
parang
sa
all around?
All around.
Okay. Ano yun? Pag may kamag-anak siya, she hires as house help?
Hindi naman. Parang ako lang, minsan yung pinagkatiwalaan na kasi matagal na ako sa kanila.
Since when?
Since 1990.
1990. Saan sila nakatira noon? 1990.
Sa, Binyan, Laguna.
Ano yung bahay nila doon?
Maliit lang, yung 2 bedrooms. Tapos parang luma na rin.
Luma?
Oh, yung pagdating ko doon, yung
okay.
pinanganak yung pang-tatlo, yung si Jane Catherine Napoles.
Okay. Okay. And then when did they move?
2002, Alabang.
2002. So after 12 years. Ayala Alabang Village.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what happened after that?
Tapos, yung nagkaroon na sila sa Pacific Plaza Tower, nag-move din sila doon.
Kailan yun? What year?
Hindi ko naman.
So kasama ka rin doon? So
Kasama
nung lumipat
ako.
sa Ayala Alabang, paglipat sa Pacific Plaza,
Nakasama ako.
kasama ka? Okay. Di ba ang role nyo, attorney, di ba? Ang role daw niya is parang tigatanggap umano ng pera. Correct?
Oo, pagka may dinadala yung mga empleyado ng JLN Corporation na mga cash na pera, sila yung parang receptionist. Sila ang nagdadala sa loob ng bahay.
Okay. At kayo rin nagbibilang ng pera or what?
Di, kasi iniwanan sa akin yung susi ng kwarto nila. Tapos tatawag na lang yan sa akin, tita, may pera dyan sa magdadala ng pera. Tapos sabi niya, tanggapin mo tapos ilagay mo doon sa kwarto. Tapos dinadala namin sa
Do you
kwarto.
sign anything or basta't binibigay lang sa'yo? How many times did this happen?
Many times.
Many times. So from what year to what year?
2006. Hanggang umalis ako ng ng December, yung December.
2006 until December 2012. Okay, so in a period of 1 year, mga ilang beses na may once a week, once a month?
Pag mayroon,
Pera,
basta
delivery
may collection sila. Minsan araw-araw,
Yeah.
minsan naman 2 times sa pag wala, mga once lang siguro a month
Collection,
ng foundation nila.
foundation nila. Yung foundation, yung isa doon na
Yung
ikaw daw mismo ang...
Yung sa akin, ginawa nila akong presidente.
Alam mo ba yon at that time?
Hindi.
Kailan mo nalaman?
Yung nalaman ko, yung yung pumutok na yung malampaya.
Malampaya?
Oo.
Oo.
Yung una, tapos yung kasama namin na parang tumatakbo-takbo sila sa nagtatago. Tapos tapos tinawagan ako ni Ben. Sabi ni Ben na nakasama daw yung ko. Doon yung ako daw ang isa sa presidente doon sa yung malampaya na yun.
Did you ever wonder kung bakit ang daming delivery ng pera at ganun karami?
Hindi naman kasi parang nasanay na rin ako ako ang tumatanggap ng pera.
Nasanay ka. Pero nung the first time na may
Pero
nagdala
kasi,
ng pera, hindi ka ba nagulat? Ba't ang laki nito? Di ba? Parang...
Hindi, kasi galing naman sa office eh.
Mhm.
Galing naman sa office nila. Tapos lang, yung lagi kasi nilang sinasabi na mamalingki sila. Yung pamalingki kasi, pamalingki nila ang tawag nila.
Sa
yung
pagkuha ng
pala,
pera.
pagkuha pera sa, mayroon silang koleksyon galing sa sa bangko yung kukunin.
Aha, okay. Dalawa kayo na tigatanggap ng pera?
Pag nasa bahay ako, mayroon kaming kasama, pero ako nang na-in-charge doon sa
How is the money delivered? In boxes? In bags?
bags.
Bags. Plural.
Minsan-
Usually, how many bags?
Minsan dalawang bag.
Gaano kalaki
Minsan,
yung bag?
Isang bag lang, minsan ganyan kalaki.
Suitcase or like an overnight bag?
Hindi, yung ganyan.
Suitcase nga.
Oo.
So, punong-puno yun ng pera?
Traveling bag.
Traveling bag.
Mayroon din
Binubuksan mo yung bag?
Hindi. Minsan, sabihin na lang sa akin, tita, mayroon niyang, kung magkano yan, minsan 50 million.
50 million?
Or 25 million. Or minsan 5 million.
Okay. Did you know about the account allegedly opened in your name? Yung sa Air Material Wing, tama ba yun? Yung AMSLY?
Amsla.
Did you know about that? Kailan mo nalaman yon? Kailan mo nabalitaan yon?
Yung sinabi na ni Benhard.
Kailan niya sinabi sa'yo?
Yung yung pumutok na yung ngayon. Sinabi niya. May pera kami sa nakapangalan sa amin.
Aha, okay.
Oo.
Pero hindi mo nakita ever ang, kasi syempre may passbook yan eh.
Hindi.
Walang
hindi.
pinapirma sa'yo na dokumento galing sa bangko.
Wala.
You never went to AMSLA yourself to deposit or to withdraw any of the money. So hindi mo rin alam na allegedly meron daw 25 million na dineposito noong April 2009 and allegedly another big amount in 2011. Pero nung nalaman mo, nagulat ka ba or natakot ka ba or what did you think nung nalaman mo yon?
Hindi kasi marami kami kasi yung nakapangalan sa ano namin yung pera nakapangalan sa account yung sa AMSLA. Tapos sabi niya, "O tita, ano ka pa? Marami ka palang pera doon." Sabi ko, "Hindi naman yung nakapangalan." Alam namin kasi hindi yung sa amin, hindi. Pinangalan lang yung ginamit lang yung pangalan namin.
But did you think that parang medyo masama ata ito? Parang gano'n? Or mali ata ito?
Oo nga, pero hindi naman kami pwede makipag sa kanya kasi iba ugali yun. Nagtanong ka, tapos ano?
Tapos ano?
Magagalit yun.
Magagalit?
Oo.
Aha, okay. Do you know these people who are listed as having accounts in AMSLA? Yung allegedly, no, itong certain William Lim, Vanessa Eman, Edwin Tan, Liza Maclang, Winnie Villanueva, etc. Ito mga lumabas na to sa mga media reports. Kilala mo sila lahat?
Yung Edwin Tan, sino sila ba?
Eman.
Tapos si William Lim, kapatid niya yun.
Mga ano?
Kapatid niya yun.
Mga kapatid, okay. Winnie Villanueva, John De Asis, Rosita.
Mga kakilala ko yan.
Kakilala mo? So, madalas sila magkita? They go to the
madalas.
house? So, pera ba nila talaga itong mga to? Or?
Pera na ni Mrs. Napoles.
Ni Mrs. Napoles. Okay. Itong mga tao, sina Sunyas, Mayan Kilap, Nemesio Pablo, Jocelyn Piorato, Marina Sula, Simonette Briones. Kilala mo rin sila?
Kilala.
Lahat sila? Ano sila? What are their roles?
Yung iba umalis na eh.
Pero ano sila? Sa JLN
sa
Corporation? Okay. And the NGO you supposedly headed was?
I don't know.
Ito, yung Bukirin Tanglaw Foundation daw. Hindi mo alam. Pero nalaman mo rin eventually.
Yung lately na.
Lately na, okay. Attorney Baligot, you brought several documents and these are the parang accounting records of her son, Ben Herluy.
Yes.
Okay. We won't have time to take everything out, no? But in general, what do these accounting records show?
Yeah, his accounting records will show that monies went into the accounts of these foundations and then withdrawn and deposited in the accounts of Mrs. Napoles or in the accounts of her owned or controlled corporations. And may mga accounts din ng mga politiko.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Benhar has records of bank transfers, documents authorizing the banks to debit the accounts of these foundations and credit the same in the accounts of...
Yung pinakita mo sa akin kanina, attorney, are parang computer printouts, no?
Yes.
So si Benhar mismo ang
encode.
Opo. So these are printouts. Paano yun? Paano niya nadala yun? What do you mean? He brought hard drive? What did he copied them? What?
Yes. Meron kasi siyang external hard drive. Kasi at that time, nabigyan sila ng bagong computer.
Okay.
So from the old computer...
Kailangan ilipat?
Kailangan ilipat. So ang medium niya was the external hard drive.
Okay.
So he kept that hard drive. Tapos sinave din niya doon sa bago niyang laptop.
Okay. There is a prepared and signed sworn affidavit of Mrs. Lui and the others?
Yes, ma'am.
Sworn already?
Yes.
Okay. And submitted to the NBI?
Yes.
Okay. At this moment, I don't have the up-to-the-minute information right now, but Mrs. Napoles is supposed to be, the NBI is supposed to be arresting her right now. You've heard of that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But this is for the illegal detention charges of Ben Herluy.
Yes.
Why did Ben-Hur Luy come out and turn his back on her?
First, because he was detained for more than 3 months. No? And during that detention, as narrated by him after he was rescued, medyo tinakot siya doon.
Okay.
Iniwan siya sa isang kwarto na ang kasama lamang niya ay rosary at Biblia.
Okay. Okay. So that was the only reason why he decided to come
disengage from
disengage.
Mrs. Napoles. Well, according to him, after they implemented the Malampaya Fund, yung 900 million na fund, na kung saan walang delivery man lamang, doon na siya nag-umpisang mag-isip na kailangan na rin siyang umalis.
Okay, okay. Apart from the accounting records, did he keep like bank deposit slips? Because these are just entries, di ba?
Yes, these are verifiable informations, no? Once we are able to secure a freeze order, no? Kwan yan, yung Anti-Money Laundering Council,
okay.
it will pave the way for a bank verification.
Okay, okay. And who's going to do that? Not you,
AMLAC,
right?
yes.
AMLAC. By the way, with all those alleged withdrawals, no, and some of them in the millions, hindi ba nare-red flag ng AMLAC yon? Hindi ba dapat?
Oo, nare-red flag.
So ano nangyari? We never hear from AMLAC anyway. Oh.
Yeah, I think they are silently working on it.
Silently. But these are deposits made in 2009, 2010, 2011.
Way back 2003.
2003. So,
Oo. Kasi yung funds kasi came from the government. Pagka dineposit mo yan, since government ang source, hindi yan nire-red flag. Oo.
Okay.
Pero once na winidraw mo yan and dineposit mo sa ibang accounts, doon na nare-red flag.
But even if it goes into a allegedly suspicious account na wala rin.
Nire-record yan kasi dalawa ang
okay.
coverage ng AMLAC, yung suspicious and covered transactions.
Okay. Anyway, we'll have to take a break already. So, very quickly lang, Gertrudes, nakilala mo kanina si Colonel Ariel Quirubin, right? Alam niyo yung storya niya? Do you know about it?
Hindi, narinig lang namin
Narinig mo lang?
Oo.
Okay. Well, ngayong gabi, maririnig mo ulit. So, pakinggan mo na lang dahil baka maawa ka. So anyway, thank you very much, Attorney Baligot and Gertrudes Luy. Thank you so much. We're taking a short break. News.PH will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News.PH on the Solar News Channel. I'm Pia Hontiveros. Our guests tonight are, former Philippine Marine Colonel Ariel Quirubin. And a little later on in the show, we'll be joined by telephone by a friend of his who has a similar story to tell. Colonel Quirubin, thank you very much for joining us here in the studio. You have a story to tell, a very sad one, no? But and it has something to do with Janet Lim Napoles. So can you tell us first how you and your late first wife met Janet Lim Napoles?
Yeah, actually, Jimmy Napoles is a colleague of mine, a contemporary.
Marine officer.
He was commissioned in the Philippine Constabulary and then called to active duty in the Marines. During the 1989 military exercise, he was wounded. He was on board the LVT that was burned in Gate 1. And I was wounded in White Plains. And then we were together in Viluna.
Okay.
When I escaped, I asked him to join me, but he said he cannot because he had third-degree burns.
Okay. So in other words, marami kayong pinagsamahan, no? You were brothers in arms in a way?
Not really marami kasi ano naman ang unit niya noon sa Marines, hindi ko siya nakakasama noon. Nagsama lang kami doon sa military exercise.
Sa coup. Okay. So but that is how you met his wife.
The wife kasi is a known supplier, no?
Yes.
Siya yung pero nung time na yun kasi problemado sila dahil siyempre nakakulong nga yung yung husband niya.
At the time in 1989, supplier na siya noon.
Well, even before that, they met. I'm not really sure, no, kasi
Okay.
19 years ago itong pinag-uusapan natin. So,
Okay. But how did Janet Lim Napoles convince? It was your first late wife, no?
Yes,
Who had
yes.
invested. How did Janet Lim Napoles convince your wife to invest?
Well, I'm not really privy to that, no.
Okay.
Ang pagkakaalam ko kasi naghahanap sila ng kapital, no. Merong project na
May sinabing project daw.
well, ang pagkakaintindi ko noon, mga radyo, mga doon sa shipyard, may barko na papaayos.
Aha. Okay.
Kasi Navy yung
Aha. Okay. And you believed your wife, your first late wife, believed her because she was not only a supplier but her husband was a military, also a Marine officer.
Yeah.
So kumbaga you believed her because Marines naman ang asawa.
Yes.
Ganon kasimple.
Yeah.
So you trusted her too much?
Not really.
Not really?
Oh, yeah. Ano naman kasi ako hindi ko alam talaga yung kung ano yung extent o ano ba yung terms o ano basta I later learned about it.
Okay. So tell us how that happened, no? When you learned about it and then when your wife was trying to get back the money, how did that go? How did that happen?
Di ba nasa Basilan na ako, I was running after Barama Sali na
Okay.
nagkidnap kay Father Nacorda.
Okay.
So nung natapos yon, I went home and then she confided na sabi niya nagkakaroon na ng problema yung na-invest na utang ba o ano na kasi hindi na ma-encash yung check. And then etong si Jenny nagtatago na.
Jenny or Janet Lim Napoles.
Jenny kasi ang palayaw niya. We call her Jenny.
Okay. Your wife at that time had a friend, the wife of another officer also, no, who had also invested.
A friend who was a former military surgeon
Yeah.
na siya naman yung nakunan ng pera.
Okay, so siya mismo.
Yes,
At siya
siya
mismo yung makakausap din natin ngayon,
Yes.
Colonel Quirubin. So, and like we promised him that we would not name him, so we're just going to call him Sir. And he's joining us live by phone, satellite phone from overseas. Sir, can you hear me? Sir, can you hear me? Okay, well we're going to try and get that line back in a little while. So anyway, your wife did try to ask for the money back, and then
Yes.
ano na nangyari? So hindi niya makuha. You came back. She confided in you that that's what happened. And then what happened next?
And then they were at an office in Makati. Pag tinawagan niya ako, I was having my therapy. Sabi niya, kausapin mo rito nandito si Jenny dumating. So I talked to Jenny, sabi ko, sabi ko, hard-earned money ito.
Yeah.
Pera to ng sister-in-law niya, pera ng kapatid. At yung iba dyan, pera na namin, ng mag-asawa.
Yeah.
So, isoli lang ninyo. And then, si Jenny naman, in a very mild manner, yung pagsabi ko. But Jenny answered na in a hysterical manner, wag mo ko sigawan. So, si doktora hindi naman sanay sa ganon. So,
Sinong doktora?
yung wife ko was a surgeon.
Okay.
So, kinuha niya yung phone, sabi niya, wag mo naman ang sigawan. So, sabi ko, hindi ko man siya sinisigawan.
Oo nga, you're very
then-
mild-mannered.
Yeah.
For a kuplat. I'm just kidding. Okay.
And then after that, yung detalye nung nangyari kasi, hindi ko na masyadong maalala na at saka hindi ko na pinapansin kasi nung namatay na ang pinoproblema ko kung paano ko papalakihin yung mga anak ko na
Yes.
1 year 9 months old yung lalaki, tapos 7 months
7
old
months
yung
old
babae.
yung babae. Oo.
Yeah, so wala na akong hanggang sa nung nabasa ko na yung interview nitong kaibigan namin na doktor na detalyado, no. Nung nangongolekta sila, sabi ko, nilalamok. Medyo honestly, kinikilabutan ako ng ano nung nabasa ko yun.
Okay. But Mrs. Napoles returned the money on the first night of the wake? Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes. Nung sa unang gabi ng wake, dumating siya, dumating yung friend niya, may dala silang pare, may dala silang choir.
Pare?
Yes.
Dala ng pare?
Yeah, may dala siyang pare.
Okay.
And then they returned the money, pero in dollars.
In dollars?
Yeah, in dollars.
Okay.
Kasi yun siguro available na lang nila na pera at biglaan kasi.
Oo. Your wife was sick at that time or what happened?
No.
Why did she die?
She died, no? So sa autopsy kasi, she died of unexplained primary pulmonary hypertension.
Okay.
It is a rare disease na at that time there were only 88 recorded cases. Hindi ko talaga alam kasi medical term yon.
Yes.
Na nagbibiroan kami, mukhang stress-related.
Stress-related.
Nito ko lang nalaman kasi kung yung details nung no, leading to that tragic day, yung pagkamatay niya, nakikita ko na talagang posible na it was really related to stress.
I wish we could have your friend on the phone, but in the meantime, while we're waiting for him, tell us what were, well, of course, parang medyo water under the bridge, no?
Yes.
Were there other people that you had heard of, other wives of Marine officers or Marine officers themselves who had also invested with Janet Napoles?
No, I don't know.
You didn't
Honestly,
ask anymore.
Hindi ko nga rin alam yung kay Bobby, later ko na.
Yun ang pangalan niya. Slip of that tongue tuloy. Okay, but you are a bit familiar with what happened. Pareho lang, no? Pareho lang yung storya. Ganon din. Naibalik ba yung pera niya?
Naibalik yung 450.
450 na ano?
Kasi 500,000 yung naibigay niya, naipahiram niya.
Okay.
So 450 nun, nung tinitignan nila, kasi ang nangyayari, pag hindi hindi na in-cash yung, tumalbog yung check, tatawagan niya na papalitan na lang niya, kukunin niya yung mga check, papalitan niya ng cash.
Pero
So,
kulang yung cash.
Yeah. Later on, nung kinukompute na nila, kulang pa ng 50,000.
Okay. And how soon after, when was he paid back?
Na he was, nung namatay na si Doktora kasi, 50,000 na lang yung balance nila. So yung 50,000 na yan, hindi naman, after nung interment kasi, binayaran sila.
Okay.
Binigyan sila ng check na closed account.
Closed account?
Yeah, 50,000 na closed account.
Okay. So at the same time that he gave you the money, returned the money to you on the first day of the wake, the first night of the wake, that was also the time na binayaran niya yung kaibigan niyo? Ganun ba yun?
Hindi pa. A few weeks or hindi ko na alam yun kasi hindi na yung kay .
Okay. Why, by the way, di ba you were saying that you were just telling her na ibalik niyo na lang yung pera, no? Diba sabi niyo, balik niyo na lang yung pera. Is it because you were alarmed na nag-bounce nga yung mga cheque, and then was it also because you had heard other things about her?
No, wala naman. Yun lang nagba-bounce na tapos hindi na siya mahanap-hanap, no? Nagtatago na, doon kami na. In fact, yung meeting doon sa Makati, doon sa friend niya, hindi pa naman din siya nag-arrange noon, kundi yung mismong friend niya ang nag-set up na pumunta sila doon dahil nga nabalitaan nga nila na nalaman nitong misis ko na sa kanya pala yung napunta yung pera.
Okay. Nung lumabas ang storya ninyo, sir, were people texting you, calling you, and giving you information?
Yes, a lot.
Are you at liberty to share that information?
Kasi hearsay naman to, no?
Hearsay, okay.
Yeah, may
pero
mga
may gano'ng karami?
information
Like every 30 minutes, somebody's texting you, or?
Actually, hindi ako yung wife ko ngayon. Yeah.
Okay.
Kasi
But are there other officers or wives of officers who are telling you na pati kami humiram din sa amin?
wala naman.
Walang ganon.
Wala naman.
Okay. What are the lessons learned here?
Well, lessons learned, no? Sa akin, let me share to you a favorite quote that I use in my yearbook. In the yearbook when I graduated in 1979.
Sword.
The sword, yeah. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving fervor than silver and gold.
And on that note, thank you very much, Colonel Quirubin. I'm sure your words mean very much tonight. Maraming salamat po, Colonel Ariel Quirubin, and thank you for watching. I'm sorry we didn't get that phone patch through. I'm Pia Hontiveros. This is News.PH. See you again next Wednesday. Good night.